Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Dun dun. Hey guys, it's Ian. I'm excited to be back with you guys for another episode of our continuation of our series, What is Your True Identity by Kevin Barnett. And I'm excited, we're starting to come near the end of this book. And if you can't guess from the song that I just sang, did you grow up in the 90s? If you didn't, go on Disney Plus, watch X-Men the animated series. It's fire. If it's not part of your childhood, it should be a part of your adult life. Second, we're talking about the X-Men, which is really exciting because if you guys know, this week we got a big announcement that Hugh Jackman will be returning as Wolverine in the next Deadpool movie. So what a better time to talk about what it looks like to be an X-Men. Now, I love the way that Kevin breaks down the topic of being an X-Men, right? We know that the X-Men have a gene that allows them to become something greater than what they were before. Gives them new powers and new abilities, and sometimes these powers and abilities are scary and change their life, change the way that people look at them, the way that people treat them, right? Some of them can't go back to a normal life. Characters like Beast or Nightcrawler can't go around in normal day life because the way that people see them was changed by their genetics. In a very similar way, when we are changed by God, changed by the Holy Spirit, we aren't hiding it, right? I love the concept in the X-Men. There's so many different groups of mutants in the X-Men comics, and I'm really excited. I hope the MCU does a really good job of touching on these. But there are those that, when they get their X gene, when they get that gift, that power, some of them become good people, right? Like the X-Men. They go around and they help others, and they do what they're supposed to do. They help build relationship with those that aren't there yet, right? They help connect people, and they help people understand. They build unity. Some of them become Avengers, or friends of the Fantastic Four, or other teams, and work together so that there can be cohesion. They bring peace, right? They use their gifts wisely so that other people can know and understand the power that they have. Similar way, we can choose to use our power and our gifts. Now, not to glorify our power, but to glorify God, because He's the one that gives us our power. And it's by His power that we're able to do amazing things, right? That we're able to regenerate from anything that comes against us. The ability to weather any storm that will rise up. The ability to become strong and hardened like Colossus when scenarios are beating against us. Or be able to leave situations that we know we're not called to, like Nightcrawler, or to see what other people are thinking and processing and be able to be there for them, like Jean Grey or Professor X. Now, I love some of the other groups in the X-Men mythos because they reflect some realities. There are those like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and Magneto, right? And Apocalypse and Sabretooth, and villains that think because they have power, now they're better than other people. Now it's their job to only take care of their people and only deal with their people, and outsiders are not to be trusted and not to be dealt with. And this is a very negative outlook, but sometimes that's the way we act as Christians. We only have Christian friends and only spend time with Christians, not understanding that our power is not to be hoarded, but to be shared. It's not for the chosen few, but that God chose all mankind if they are willing to accept to be sons or daughters. I also want to talk about one more group of mutants, and that's the Morlocks. And they're given this power, and kind of like we talked about before, it's like people can't see you the same way when you're changed by the power of God. They are so afraid of that, they hide. They hide in the sewers, right? Now, Christians aren't literally hiding in the sewers, at least not in America. But sometimes that's how we act as Christians. Like, we throw our Christianity in this grimy, dark place where no one can see our powers and our gifts, and we try and hide it away from the world. And that's not right either, right? It says, we are like a city on a hill. We are like a candle, right? That you do not cover. We cannot be hidden. When our powers are shown through God, when our gifts are shown, right? They're meant to be shown. They're meant to be used. Not for our glory, but for the glory of God. I also love this because there's several mutants, and going back to some of the evil mutants, characters like Apocalypse really just think about themselves and like building themselves up and trying to be the highest. But what makes the X-Men beautiful is they're a team. There's times where they need to be the forward face that shows humanity like, you are loved and we are here to protect you. That's where characters like Cyclops really come in. He's a team leader, right? And he uses his gift as a leader to show others safety, right? There's Beast, who is very wise, and no matter how people treat him, he is patient and kind, knowing that acting out of anger will make people only resent people like him more, and understanding that through kindness and the wisdom of kindness, he creates more allies and dissipates more enemies. Or there's Wolverine, who's willing to get his hands dirty, right? Willing to do the hard work that no one else will, right? He's the best he is at what he does. Except as Christians, what we should do is very nice. Wolverine is not very nice. We are very nice, right? We need to cut through the lies of the enemy. The lies that have told people they're not good enough, have kept them suppressed and held down. There are those that change the very atmosphere that they enter into, like Storm does. When they enter into a situation, they don't leave it the way they found it, but create a new light, right? They bring sunshine on dark days, and they bring rain for new growth. Now, sometimes we're not all of this, right? Sometimes we're not the people that are willing and confident to get our hands dirty and do the hard work. And sometimes we're not the people that want to go out and talk and be the face, right? And sometimes we're not the ones that can enter into an environment and change it. And sometimes we haven't been grown in wisdom yet, right? And we haven't grown in qualities of peace. But that's why the X-Men and us have a team. Because while we're changed, we're still meant for each other. We're not Apocalypse, right? We're not manipulating other people for our own ends to make ourselves greater so other people can see us and we can be powerful. We're not Magneto that manipulates people's emotions so that we can get people on our side, so that we can use them to create a bigger divide between who's in and who's out. No. We're called to be X-Men, bringing people together so that we can combat the issues of the world, so that our gifts can benefit each other. I love the X-Men because I love how many team combos they have, right? The fastball special, right? Wolverine reflecting lasers off his claws, you know. I think there's even a move he does where he basically works like a lightning rod for Storm. Actually, recently there was one where Magneto, who is now part of the X-Men, and Storm worked together and were able to amplify both of their powers as they both affected the magnetic field around each other and the electronic field around each other to amp both of each other's powers. That's what we're called to do, is we're called to work as a team. So when one of us starts to stumble, we can stand firm and pick each other up. So we're all in this together. So, let us be ex-sinners, X-Men, and accepting that we're not of this world. We're here for something greater. And that greater is part of a team. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I was so excited to talk about the X-Men. I may have another X-Men video eventually coming out, because I keep talking about it, that talking about how I would introduce the X-Men to the MCU, but if that video doesn't come out, don't blame me. I'm really bad at uploading. Pray for Brent. He has to deal with me. But I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful day. Stay safe, have fun, and be the change the world needs. Oh, again, this is Kevin Barnett's book, What is Your True Identity? And we are Cosplay for Christ. If you guys want to follow or subscribe, like the video, share the video around with a couple people that you know that are X-Men fans, and of course, have an absolutely wonderful week. Bye.